Good morning, Malawi, on a Tuesday, the 8th of August, in the year 2023. Professor Bishal Sitaula from the Norwegian University of Life Science. So they're talking about issues of climate change as well as mindset change among leaders. So the Professor Sitaula is in the country engaging university lecturers and students on better strategies they can use in environmental management, as well as the significance of 5 transformative qualities or capabilities. So let's have this story and we'll be back.
Welcome to this other side of Good Morning Malawi. My name is In the next few minutes, we'd like to talk to Professor Bishal Sitaula from the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, who is here in Malawi to teach, or rather to impart some knowledge to lecturers at the University of Natural Resources, as well as students there. In the first place, maybe good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How have you been? It's been a year or so since you were in Malawi.
Yes, I was doing international work in many other countries apart from Malawi. But Malawi is the warm heart of Africa, so I always feel to come here.
But the weather now is no longer warm.
Yeah, weather in Norwegian, there is a Norwegian saying called, there is nothing like bad weather, there can be only bad clothes.
Okay, fine. Tell us what brings you to Malawi this time around.
This time I am here to conduct a new workshop in inner transformation in rapidly changing climate, because climate is changing so fast and it is bringing so many disorienting dilemma. So just looking at the outer solution, the technological change, innovation and so on is not rapid enough to catch up the problem that will emerging. We need a transformative change in our insight, our cognition and our consciousness. And in that regard, I was here, and today and yesterday we had conducted this international workshop on inner transformation in rapidly changing environment, where students from different African countries were also participating, some were online, and also from Malawi, from Luanar, where we talk about how to cultivate inner quality or inner capability so that we are able to address problem at their source.
What are the key issues that you were talking to these students?
I was talking that, look, in order to have an inner transformation, first of all, you should know that climate change is not only an outer technical problem and because of the greenhouse gas emission, there is a climate change. It is also a problem of broken and ruptured human relationship. Human beings have forgotten to establish that kind of connection with the nature, that kind of intimate connection, and therefore the problem is arising not only here in Malawi but everywhere. And so I am also here to bring that global awareness that 20% population consuming 80% of the world resources, and the people like in Malawi and other part of the world, they are being victim. But now we cannot do anything, past is past, but we can learn from that and go to the future. How to collaborate, how to co-create, and how to create that awareness, how to create that kind of insights, and how to create that connection, human nature connection, and also how to establish the right purpose, okay? And then for that, we also need the agency power. How to build that agency power so that all this transformative quality or capability, when we bring that one to education, these people will be able to better understand problem at their source.
And how do you want these students to take this message? Where do you want this message to be taken to?
Well, this workshop was not only from students, it was also leadership here, It has leadership also involved here. And the message here is that, oh, look, leadership now, it is not, if you just tease the definition of climate change, environmental change, it's not enough. Today's student using artificial intelligence find much more intelligent answer in a matter of second. Now we have to really help student how to use the effective aspect, the feeling in relationship aspect with the nature that nurture us. So that message we wanted to give to the leadership, and so that there will be a new course curricula, or in existing course curricula there will be a new element of inner transformation which will be cultivated over a period of time.
Okay, so how long are you going to stay in Malawi, and how many of these workshops are you going to conduct?
No, I conducted 2 workshops, but now onward we are also producing through a Norwegian funded project a book. So there will be a book writing, book production kind of workshop where I will be participating. And also we have our PhD student here involved in the project. We'll also follow up that one. Most importantly, what I'm really looking forward is to meet that community, the community that we are working. When you listen to them deeply, their passion, their kind of aspiration, and then by listening deeply and paying attention to, in a very kind and compassionate heart, you can really understand what problem is.
At the end of all this, how do you think these workshops will now help in transforming how people think, and how this would translate maybe into the economic transformation of the country? We understand there are so many challenges so that the country is going through.
Sure, being a university professor of international environment and development study in Norwegian University, we really co-create the knowledge together, and also that knowledge is also a soft power in international relation. When you bring a contextual, timely and needed knowledge, in the universities today, I hope that will also be a kind of agent of change through a kind of creating a knowledge-based society. And we trust that the political arena need to listen to that one. Okay, those people who are in the bureaucracy, they have to listen to that one. They have to also update knowledge, and also context responsive knowledge, not context deficit knowledge that came from the colonial memory long time back. And here, in Malawi also, those knowledge system that was evolved over thousands years, without examining them that they are also relevant, they wiped it out and they introduced a new kind of knowledge here, and that become context deficit, right? The climate change, for example, what this regional climate model does is to give a prediction over a region. But in our local knowledge system here, how a bird will be putting their nest in which direction that year, the bird knew that what kind of rain is going to come, And by seeing that, our ancestors were really managing, their crop and so on. So we have to combine all the indigenous knowledge and also so-called this scientific modern knowledge to find a creative solution.
Okay. Maybe finally, what is your parting words before maybe we end the interview?
Yes, what I say is that, of course, the disorienting dilemma will come with the climate change. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional if we understand the problem at their source, and with the courage, with the creativity and with the passion, if we combine the force and then co-create the knowledge and then also implement it wholehearted, then I hope we are able to thrive the stressor of climate change, and we can flourish again.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's Professor talking about issues of climate change. He's in the country to conduct several workshops to do with this. Otherwise, this has been my Mtumo. Let me hand it back to our colleagues in Kwacha to continue with Good Morning Malawi.
Professor Sitaula, all the way from the Norwegian University here in the country, talking about issues of climate change. I hope as a country we will learn one or two things from the workshops that he is conducting in the country.
When we talk about climate change, it has contributed a lot to some of the problems that we are facing at the moment. We talk of cyclone flood, we talk of cholera. It also goes to the same line of climate change. So as a country, we really need to have to do something. Our leaders are trying their best. You know, of the COP27 that happened in Egypt, the leaders were there brainstorming and see what else can we do as the world is moving closer, is moving to that step that we actually want to have a certain climate that will climatize with the way of living.